Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss out on more spine-tingling tales. Today, we're rediving deep into a story that has haunted the halls of history for decades. A real horror story that blurs the line between fact and folklore, centered around an old, forgotten hospital and the chilling legend of its resident ghost, Doctor. Imagine a place where the air itself feels heavy with forgotten sorrows, where shadows stretch longer than they should, and the whispers you hear aren't just the wind. This isn't a scene from a movie. It's the unsettling reality surrounding Blackwood Manor Hospital, an institution whose very name sends shivers down the spines of locals. Built in the late 1800s, Blackwood was once a beacon of medical innovation, a place where people sought healing and solace. But as the decades turned, something darker began to fester within its walls. The story goes that during the mid-20th century, a Dr. Alistair Finch joined the staff. On the surface, he was brilliant, charismatic, and revered by his peers. But beneath that polished exterior, a chilling darkness resided. Rumors started to circulate among the junior nurses and orderlies, hushed conversations about strange occurrences during Dr. Finch's night shifts, about patients who seemed more terrified after his rounds, not less. They spoke of inexplicable bruises, whispered cries for help that faded into the night, and a pervasive sense of dread whenever Dr. Finch was near. The official records of Blackwood Manor Hospital are meticulously preserved, but they tell only a fraction of the story. They speak of an uptick in unexplained complications among patients under Dr. Finch's care, particularly those who were elderly or vulnerable, with few family members to advocate for them. The whispers grew louder, but fear kept most people silent. Who would dare challenge a respected, powerful doctor in those times? One young nurse, however, named Eleanor Vance, refused to ignore what she saw. She noticed a pattern. Patients who seemed on the mend would suddenly take a turn for the worse after Dr. Finch's visits, often exhibiting signs of extreme distress or unexplained injuries. Eleanor began to keep a secret journal, documenting every unsettling incident, every desperate plea she overheard, every strange reaction from patients. Her entries painted a horrifying picture of a man who saw his patients not as people to heal, but as subjects for his own twisted experiments, or worse. Eleanor's journal detailed accounts of patients who claimed they were being tormented, not by their illnesses, but by a chilling, spectral presence that felt eerily like Dr. Finch, even when he wasn't physically in the room. They described cold touches, unseen restraints, and a suffocating dread that would overwhelm them in the dead of night. Could it be that Dr. Finch's cruelty extended beyond the physical, delving into psychological torment? Tragically, Eleanor's quest for justice was cut short. One night, her journal mysteriously disappeared, and shortly after, she was found in an abandoned wing of the hospital, seemingly having fallen. The official report called it an accident, a tragic misstep in the dark, but those who knew her believed otherwise. Her death effectively silenced the mounting concerns, and Dr. Finch continued his work, seemingly unfazed. Eventually, Dr. Finch himself met an untimely end within the hospital, though the circumstances remain murky. Some say he died of a sudden illness. Others whisper of a self-inflicted demise, perhaps driven mad by the horrors he had committed, or haunted by the very patients he tormented. Whatever the truth, his passing did not bring peace to Blackwood Manor. In fact, it seemed to amplify the terror. After Dr. Finch's death, the hospital began to experience even more unsettling phenomena. Staff reported seeing his spectral figure roaming the empty wards, his cold, piercing gaze still instilling fear. But it wasn't just Dr. Finch's ghost. Patients and nurses alike started to encounter other entities, faint, whimpering figures, translucent and frail, appearing in the very rooms where the most vulnerable patients had resided. These were believed to be the spirits of the patients he had tormented, their suffering echoing through eternity, forever bound to the place of their abuse. Visitors to the now abandoned Blackwood Manor Hospital often report hearing disembodied whispers, moans, and even faint screams echoing from the decaying walls. Some claim to feel invisible hands brush against them, or the sensation of being watched by unseen eyes. Doors slam shut on their own, objects move, and sudden, inexplicable drops in temperature are common. Many paranormal investigators who dared to spend a night in the hospital have captured EVP's electronic voice phenomena that seem to carry the faint, distressed voices of patients pleading for help or calling out Dr. Finch's name with chilling terror. The most disturbing reports, however, come from those who claim to have seen the ghost doctor himself. He's often described as a tall, imposing figure in an old-fashioned physician's coat, his face obscured by shadow, his presence radiating an icy dread. And sometimes, alongside him, or in the old patient rooms, fleeting glimpses of ghostly figures are seen, frail, huddled, seemingly still trapped in a state of fear and torment. These are the ghost-abused patients, forever bound to their ethereal tormentor. The tragic truth of Blackwood Manor serves as a stark reminder that some of the most horrifying monsters are found in fiction. But in the dark corners of human nature, the suffering inflicted by Dr. Finch, whether physical or psychological, has permeated the very fabric of the building, creating an enduring legacy of fear and sorrow. The spirits of the tormented, and perhaps even their tormentor, are said to remain trapped in a purgatory of their own making. What do you think about the legend of Blackwood Manor? Do you believe in such haunting legacies, where the pain of the past lingers on? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this dive into the eerie unknown, please give this video a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe for more real horror stories and chilling legends. Your support truly helps the channel grow, and we love having you as part of our spooky community. Until next time, stay safe and keep those lights on.